So what separates a goldfish from a betta fish? Often, we keep them in small bowls, but what really makes them different? Surprisingly, a lot does. In fact, their care requirements are almost polar opposites. However, due to misinformation from people that sell fish, it's important to know the common terminology, the care for betta fish, and the care for goldfish, so we can keep them healthy and happy. First, I'm going to talk about the common terminology if you own an aquarium. According to Live Aquaria, which is a very big online fish store marketplace, there is no fully agreed upon list of terminology, but there are very many common terms you'll see basically anywhere if you look up fish. 4 of these are cycling, filters, heaters, and water changes. Cycling refers to the biological process called the nitrogen cycle, which in short, ammonia is broke down by bacteria in the water, and ammonia comes from fish waste from the fish food. Ways to enact this process in your tank is by either using external means, such as people sell like liquid ammonia, or you could dump a whole can of fish food in your tank and wait a week. That works too. The next one is a filter, pretty self-explanatory. It filters the water so your fish isn't harmed by any of the concentrated ammonia, nitrates, or nitrites in your water, which can also harm it. And then heaters is also pretty self-explanatory, where it'll heat your fish tank to around 80 to 81 degrees, which is the temperature almost every tropical fish lives in for the most part. And then the last one is water changes. Water changes are important because it helps dilute the concentration of stuff like ammonia, nitrates, and nitrites. And these things can very negatively affect your fish. They can make them sick. So you're going to want to dilute that so they're not harmed by it. So now that we know the terminology, we're going to start talking about the care for betta fish. According to Mahidol University in Bangkok, betta splendas are the most common type of betta sold across the world. These are the types of fish you'll see in those little cups at Petco and PetSmart and any other local fish store. They breathe through a little hole in the top of their head called a labyrinth in a leviathan. So think of them kind of as like a mini dolphin and how they breathe, like a blowhole. Because of this, they need shallow water because they rest at the bottom of the tank and have to swim up for air. So you're going to want shallow water because that can really stress them out, and it's a lot of energy for such a tiny fish. So tiny, they're around 2 to 3 inches long. They come in a wide variety of colors, betta fish, from bright reds to bright blues to yellows, greens, even pinks and purples, blacks and whites. But once they're sold in those cups, their colors are actually very dulled down. And according to a study by Ariel Dolan, when they're sold in those little cups, compared to something like a 5-gallon heated fish tank, the color and the activity level, which are primary factors in determining the health of a fish, go up dramatically with a 5-gallon fish tank. In a 1-gallon fish tank in the study, which is around the size of a fish bowl you would find, often their colors are very dull and activity level is very low. However, once you go up by 5 gallons, the activity level is very much increased and their colors become much more vibrant. So, the next fish we're going to talk about is a goldfish, which is the second most commonly sold fish around the world. So according to the RSPCA, which is an organization dedicated to the welfare of animals, they describe healthy goldfish as having a strong, vibrant coloration of gold, yellow, white, black, or red, or whatever color the goldfish comes in. And so, a more surprising fact about goldfish is that they need at least a 30-gallon fish tank to properly thrive in. That is 6 times as much as the average for bettas. Why do they need such a big tank, you may ask? And that's because goldfish grow up to 8 inches naturally in the wild, even bigger sometimes. So because they're 8 inches long, they need 30 gallons, and they can even live up to 20 years old on average. Goldfish, unlike betta fish, need cold water instead of warm water. So because of this, you do not need a heater, and in fact, a heater is bad. But what you do need to supplement is a very strong filter because they're 8 inches long, so that means they produce a lot of fish poop. So you're going to want to clean that all out. Without proper care and without proper filtration, goldfish can have a condition called stunted growth. Now, stunted growth, for goldfish is when they grow to the size of the tank rather than their full natural size. When this happens, their internal organs grow at a disproportional rate to their external body. This can cause many issues such as brain aneurysms, heart issues, internal intestinal issues. Anything that happens inside that can go wrong can basically go wrong. So in summary, goldfish and betta fish are often seen as more disposable creatures. Perhaps we don't often think about how a goldfish or a betta fish really feels. I mean, they're fish. They don't really think as maybe something like a dog does. But personally, I believe that all walks of life, or all swims of life, deserve very good and decent treatment. Thank you.